Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at XRP, carry on with the journey. So you might have seen floating around on Twitter and other places that XRP hit $23,000 last night on some exchange somewhere. Clearly it didn't, and we're still in the descending channel, which is fine. This is, like I said, this is how we're likely to play this out. I said a couple of weeks ago, look, this could either break to the up or to the down. The favour is in favour of breaking to the up. This is more likely to resolve this formation to the up, right? But for the moment, we're still dancing around in this small zone, right? And I actually created a trading bot on this one on the BTC pair a couple of days back now, because the range looks to be, until it decides to break out of a range, it looks to be a relatively tight little formation. So and will likely break to the up as well. So the lowest range, the lowest area of support on this is currently 76, and the upper area is 87. So there's really not much between it. But being in this channel, yeah, if we break down, we go back down to the lower end of the channel. As long as we're closing candle bodies within this is fine. And all the way down to the wick low down here, about 60 cent, which, like I said, I'd be surprised if we saw that, but it's not out the realms of possibility because we don't really know exactly which way Bitcoin's going to go in the short term. And the market, I've spoken about it many times. There's more to trading on altcoin than just the altcoin chart. There's a lot of things at the moment that are causing downwards pressure on everything. So we can look at this formation and look at this chart and take it on face value, but really we ought to digest every other aspect of what's causing downtrends in all markets at the moment. So I won't bore you to death. We've gone over it many times. But for what it's worth, we are turning up on the MACD here. We do have an RSI breakout on the daily, which isn't very, it's not with an enormous amount of conviction, but it is there. And again, same old thing with the money flow index is trickling back in again. But we do have this death cross incoming. But let me remind you. So if we are in a bull market, which I believe we are, the death crosses can basically be red herrings, right? They're not really anything to be majorly concerned of. So we saw this big move up here and a massive consolidation throughout the summer, and we got our death cross here at this price, and the price at that stage, at that candle body open, was 58, and we got a small move down to 52. So arguably the low was already in from this big wick down here before the death cross took place. So the low was formed, the death cross took place, it did go a little lower, but it didn't take out the last low. And this is going to be the case, right? There's been some narrowly avoided death crosses after these big pumps. Big pump up, break down, death cross almost formed here, but the low was already in. Again, same old deal over here. Big move up, consolidation down, narrowly avoided a death cross, but the low was already in. So yeah, I'm not saying that we can't come down low. Of course we can. But is this low likely to be retested? Given what we've just looked at with this chart and its history, this death cross could bring us down a little lower. I think the low is already in. Not that many of us, or if anyone, was able to have sort of made the most of that, especially not on my time zone. All this took place kind of when I was sleeping, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, it would have been hard to have dealt with that. But, I mean, this is one of the biggest wicks and the biggest bounces of all cryptocurrency out there, suggesting that, surprisingly, XRP is not as weak as you think. Now, I talk about XRP because I like trading it, right? It's one of the few coins that I trade futures with, coin futures that would be. So I suppose I focus on it probably more than is required, because most people who watch this channel or watch any channel, they just want to know what spot position to buy, which is going to yield them 100x, right? So this isn't going to be one of them, despite the $23,000 XRP token that happened somewhere in the world last night. That's not going to happen with XRP. It's not going to give you 100x, but it is a chart that's worth trading in, and I say this all the time. One of the main reasons for that is because it's old. And older charts do give better signals, and their behavior is often replicated, which is why I like trading it, because you can see certain setups, certain signals that have happened in the past, and there's a good chance when they happen again, it will perform like it did before. So we see this incoming death cross. We have to expect a further pullback as a result of something like that, because it is, it's not a signal in itself, but it is a strengthening of a downtrend. But you could argue that the downtrend is largely already played out from the wick high to the wick low. That's a 55% So yeah, not the worst thing you've ever seen. Also not that great. And from the candle bodies to the current candle bodies, it's 39, so it's 40% basically. Look, we're going to continue down until we break out of this formation, but for the moment, this is our range, a very tight range. Breaking down below here, we will remain likely within here, so it could end up in the 60s. But overall, once this breaks out, it breaks out. MACD is turning up. We've got an RSI breakout, which is pretty lame and pathetic, but it is still there. We'll go to a 4-hourly just very briefly. So we're turning up a little bit on the MACD there, and the RSI says nothing particular, actually. So yeah, we'll just wait and see how it goes. It's the same old analysis that was sort of projected by me when we came into this zone. So it's the same thing continuing. And yeah, I'll be looking for 76 cents to get tagged and see what kind of reaction we have to that. 76, if we break down from there, we go into the lower zone. If we hold from there, there's every chance that we hold and break out. It's all going to be to do with whatever Bitcoin wants to do, and what Bitcoin wants to do so far is remain in this range. Whether XRP gets a little lift, like some of these altcoins seem to have been doing today, is fine, because that also goes hand in hand with a healthy trading environment within crypto itself. So not absolutely everything is getting wrecked all alongside Bitcoin. There are some outliers we are pumping today. Not many of the things I'm holding, I have to say, but some of them are up. And the one other thing I would sort of ask you to gravitate towards for any kind of major alt trade would be, of course, the Bitcoin dominance chart. I know it's boring. It's very, very boring. But all we need to think about is the Bitcoin dominance chart coming up to the 20 weekly. And when that takes place, it's likely going to cause some decent relief for altcoins. And that's 43% at the moment. This is the 20 weekly. So about 43% dominance should have some decent relief for altcoins, maybe even a miniature alt season, if that's what you want to call it. But that's where I'd expect the relief to take place. Things start to moon against Bitcoin and catch some decent gains. Is it likely? I think it's very likely when we get to that level. So we'll just hold our horses and wait for those who want to be conservative traders, especially those who want to trade futures, get more excited about altcoins around 43% dominant. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.